Hi, I'm Byron.
And I'm Bianca.
And you are here on the Self-Made book channel, the home of entrepreneurship. And today, I want to talk about our second book.
Our second book or third?
Third book.
Oh.
It's our 2-book deal.
Oh, okay, fine.
And I want to talk about, first of all, what the books are.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to talk about how we was in a bidding war with the publishers bidding for this. Then I want to talk about how we get in pen to paper. Alright? So alright, cool. So let's get started then. The two books that we're writing at the moment. So these are our third and fourth books. And I promise everybody, this third book will be the best book we have written so far. And it's because it's a topic that we also know almost before we started entrepreneurship, which is money and finance.
Yeah.
We were doing various things to do with money and finance before we were starting business, from savings to credit to everything else, right? So, jumping ahead, the third book of the 2-book deal is a book about money and finance, what they didn't teach you at school. And it's going to talk about investments, it's going to talk about savings, wealth management, property, everything. And it's we've just started the writing process, which is really, really cool, right? But let's talk about...
I feel like you jumped ahead. You said you were going to talk about the 2-book deal, and then you went straight into the first one.
All right,
one
cool.
of the books is.
So that's the first book. And the second book, the publishers, to be honest with you, said...
So hold on. Pause.
Okay, go.
So we pitched 2 books to a publisher. First and foremost, right?
It's probably a few more. It's probably...
No, I think we pitched 2 books.
I think there's a third one in there.
Nah, maybe. I think we put 3 books out there, and one publisher was like, "Yeah, we love it. We want to go with that book, right?" And offered us the deal. Then our other publisher said, "We want to offer you a 2-book deal, right?" And then the other publisher was like, "Oh, hey, we'll offer you a 2-book deal as well. Like, if you want it, we'll give it to you at 2 books." And then that's when the bidding war ensued, and the price kept going up and up and up, right? So that's what happened. And then in the end, we decided to go with our original publisher for Self-Made for a 2-book deal. And as Byron said, the first book is all about money and finance, and the second book. Now let's talk about the second book, Byron.
The second book is about, which is an interesting one, which is about manifestation. Now, we don't want this book to be an airy-fairy manifestation. This book is going to be about manifestation with action. Okay, so that'll be probably 24. That one will come out. The book about money and finance will come out September 23. And yeah, we're excited. And I let's share them a couple of. Let's just share maybe tips on writing. What one tip will you give anybody who wants to start or wants to become an author? And yeah,
I think the first thing is to understand what the chapters are. So I think once you understand what the book is created for, who it's for, what it will do and why it will do it, then you map out each chapter. And I think by understanding each chapter what you plan to write about, or what each chapter covers, that really gives you a really nice way to kind of plan the book. And I think it's a bit like when you're at university, well, at least when I did, you would think, okay, what am I planning to say in each part of my dissertation or whatever, or my essay, right?
Yeah.
So in the same way with a book, okay, well, if the book has an overall aim, how do we achieve that aim? So then you use your chapters to break down all of the things that person needs to know to achieve that overall aim. Our overall aim is to educate people on finances and money. So what are the couple of things, what are the different pointers they need to get to that final solution? And then, okay, well now what does each chapter include? And I think that's what we do really well. We break down each chapter. What do we want to achieve from that chapter? And therefore, what do we need to cover in that chapter?
Yeah. And do you know what? People will say, how do you find the time to write? And I want to talk about that for a moment, but also for my peoples that will become authors and will become published authors, with or without us. When you get a check and you're contractually obligated, just like when you're in university or college or school and you got a deadline you got to meet,
you find the time.
Right? And also our check is split into 3. So our check is based on when we submit manuscripts. So, you know, and
so the 3 is a payment in advance for signing,
yeah.
Then a payment on delivery of the book, and then a payment when the book is released. So that's the 3. So you have to meet the deadline.
Gotta meet those deadlines.
I've heard about people not meeting deadlines though.
I spoke to someone recently,
yeah,
and they were like, "Yeah, they've got to wait.
They have to push the book back.
They got to wait. They want the greatness. They got to wait."
I was like, crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
But
I don't work like that. If I've got a deadline, I hit my deadlines.
But that is why they gave us an unconditional offer.
Sure.
And to add to that,
we deliver
on the second deal, second book. So the manifestation one, they've pretty much said you can write what you want.
Yeah.
Like write whatever you want, because they know we're gonna write something we care about, something that people want, and we're gonna write something in the timeline. But we're gonna deliver. So I think it's so important to just build that reputation, right? And then bang, when we get that bestseller again, and this one is gonna be way bigger than the first 2. For sure, they'll offer you another deal. So like, I think consistency is so important. People being able to rely on you. Like the fact, I felt like an artist. You know, like when you hear about on TV, these artists getting a 2-album artist, 2-album
album deal,
album advance deal. I was like, oh sugar, they want your people like that, yeah. They want to sign you in. They want to sign us in. But also on their side, it's very smart because our stock is growing.
Yeah.
Right. Our stock is growing and growing. Right? So they're getting us in at that price, which is cool. You give and you take, right? So we're like, okay, the check's healthy enough. We'll do that, and we'll write some great books anyway, right? But the commercial side of it, just for anybody wanting to write books, the commercial side, the book doesn't always pay you millions and millions of pounds, but it's the things that you do around the book. The book is to empower the people to be able to do an action from our point of view, right? Writing these types of books is to help them achieve something. And what we was able to do with SELFMADE is we was able to create a masterpiece that was able to help people start, grow, and scale their business, right? And again, this book will also help people with their finances, and we know we're going to create a whole new tribe, a whole new following as a result of this book, which is really exciting, right? And the commercial sides of things comes in other ways. For example, speaking, for example, partnership deals, etc., etc. And we've done 3 partnership deals already, signed, in the bag, right? So just a tip to anybody, look, be passionate about the book that you're writing and serve the people, for sure. That is what it's all about. And the commercial stuff comes up thereafter, and it will come.
Yeah. I want to say though, for anyone who's watching this who doesn't know, obviously, that we have like a published author course. I'm not mentioning it to sell the course. I'm mentioning it because I think people who don't know that don't realise that they can actually be paid to write a book.
Yeah.
Because if you've not been to one of our sessions, you might not know that that's how that works. And so I'm saying it because often we've just made an assumption that you would understand that a 2-book deal means you get paid for the pleasure of writing the book. You might not realise that actually it's an opportunity available to a lot of people if you know the process to go through to actually pitching your idea, getting paid in advance to enable you to start working on that idea and making it a reality. And I think so often people just go down the route of self-publishing because they don't think it's an option available to them. And I want to say now that if you have a business, you have a book idea, and you want to understand how to make money from that book idea, it's not just about getting the book out there. It's also about what goes around the book, so creating that business plan around the book, as Byron just mentioned.
Cool. So I guess that's the journey of our next 2 books.
We've started writing.
Yeah. So
we've divvied up the chapters.
Yeah. So how we go about writing is we first of all say, okay, whose area of expertise is better suited for this particular chapter, and then we basically cherry pick those ones, and then we share our own individual ideas.
We input on each other's chapter.
Exactly. To create that masterpiece, and then we bring experts in where required to just reinforce what we're saying, which is really, really cool. So that's how we go about writing. I probably spend about a week, 2 weeks per chapter, pulling all the data and information together, and then one day just downloading it onto dictaphone.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a couple of hints and tips for y'all. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, please, my people, subscribe to the channel. We're giving you away free game here. You know, like, subscribe, and share this with someone who you think would like to become a published author, because we're giving away free game. All right. If you know someone who would like to become published author, just share it with them. If you're giving them something that can help them advance their life, why not, right? Anyway, my people, thank you so much. And we're going to do loads more content for y'all with better light. But we wanted to just get something done for y'all because, you know, we've been neglecting y'all. But we back, baby.
What is going on with your accents and stuff?
So sometimes I feel like I'm American.
Right. Interesting.
And then sometimes,
anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Sometimes I want the African in me to come out.
Oh.
And sometimes I want the Britishness to come out. So I'm quintessentially British, my darling.
And on that note, I'm Bianca.
And I'm Byron.
SELFMADE is the home of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Bye.